Yo, so in the last video I showed you guys how to import Japanese clothes for resale, and honestly for the past few videos I've been doing like this tutorial series where I show you guys how to make money. So far it's specifically been on reselling, but we might change the topic eventually depending on how many videos I do with this. But anyway, in the comments and in my DMs I kept getting a bunch of questions on what products should we be selling, so I did a favor for you guys and I did all the math and got all the statistics for some of the best selling shoes in 2024. This will specifically cover shoes for like the summertime right now. We're kind of at a time where there's no real trend of shoes. As many of you know, there are like trends of shoes where it'll be like a phase. So it went from like 1s to 4s to Miharas, Ricks to Balenciagas, and it just consistently changes. But as of right now, we're in a period where nothing is really trending, which means it's a good time to start selling because there's nothing really that you have to specifically sell to get sales. But before the video starts, I think it's like 99% of you literally are not subscribed. So if this video helps you in any way, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and make sure to join the Discord. We have a bunch of people who are helping each other find stuff. A guy in there just found some black cats from Japan for like $300 something. Another person found some Union 4s. There's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, be sure to join the Discord. Link is in the description. But let's get straight into it. So coming in at number 5 is going to be the Cactus Plant flea market forces, specifically the black ones and the white ones. Now I want you guys to know for this video, I didn't just pull these shoes from nowhere. I literally went and got stats from multiple sites, including StockX, GOAT, Mercari, eBay, Depop, and Grailed, just so I could see where these shoes lie, and that's how I compiled the list. So as for the flea market forces, they take up 2 of the top 15 slots for the best sellers on StockX within the past 72 hours. They also make up about 30% of every 18 sales on Mercari. To start off anyway, forces are already a really good year-round shoe, but they tend to blow up in the summer, so it kind of makes sense that the flea market forces are about to go crazy. The 2020 models of the forces sell for about like $1,000 plus, but if you have the 2024s, they do go for about $200 or $300 depending on your size. So just because they're forces and they're a collab, I think they'll probably go crazy over time, and now is a really good time to pick them up. If you haven't seen my Japanese import video, make sure you go watch that. It gives you some baseline knowledge on how to import from Japan, and that's really an easy way to get some of the shoes that are on this list. Now next up is a really big sleeper pick. I didn't even know this until I looked on like StockX and saw these trending. So it's going to be 2 models of New Balances. It's currently the 9060s and the 990s. These are within the top 20 selling on StockX, and if you scroll on secondhand sites like Mercari or eBay, these are just scattered in with some of the best selling shoes in 2024. I think the 9060s are like a new model that's coming up. I didn't even know anything about them until I saw one of my friends wearing them, and it turns out they're actually like a top seller right now, so maybe for this summer these can be a top pick. The triple blacks are currently sitting at about like number 17 out of 20 on the StockX list, and they're going for about $250, at least anything above a 9. As for the 990s, it looks like the V3 is the one that's kind of popping off, but a close runner-up if you don't like either of those is the 2002Rs, specifically the protection pack. New Balances were already big in Baltimore, but I did not know that they were starting to scale out into other places. But honestly, I think the best colorways to stick to are probably the black ones, the green ones, and the gray ones. They're the only ones I really see with a bunch of traction. The other colorways is kind of iffy, except the 9060s. The 9060s, all colorways sell. Next up was kind of expected. That's going to be the Balenciaga tracks. I honestly thought this shoe fell off. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but if you check Mercari's recently sold, eBay recently sold, these things still occupy like literally 30%. I don't know how they're still alive. I thought the shoe died. I really did. Balenciaga has a tendency to kind of stick. They had the sock runners for a little bit, then they had the boot, and they had the tracks, and they have the defenders. They just have a tendency to stick around. It looks like the best tracks to sell are the black ones from what I'm looking at, but apparently there's some other colorways like red. I didn't even know they had red tracks, but that's apparently selling. Depending on the condition, it looks like they sell for about $600 plus. So definitely if they're in your budget for starting to resell, look into some tracks. Next up is going to be Kobe's. I'm guessing because the summer's coming up and people are hooping, they're starting to pick up some basketball shoes, but the models you're looking at are the 5, 6, and 11. I don't play basketball, but I think the 5s and 11s are good for hooping. They kind of come at a good price point from what I've seen. But the 6s specifically, you want to target the Grinches, the reverse Grinches, and then the Sweet 16s. All 3 of those are like the most expensive Kobe's you can get your hands on. They're actually currently in the top 100 sold on StockX for shoes, and I consider being in the top 100 pretty good because you're competing with Yeezy slides, Crocs, a lot of Dunks, basically shoes at a lower price point. So the fact that you can maintain your place at top 100 100 being a $600 shoe versus $200 shoes and below, you deserve your spot. And finally, I'm not even gonna lie, you knew this was coming. Jordan 4s have the highest sale volume in 2024. It looks like every collection of Jordans where they hit, they just release different colors of that collection and it becomes a banger. Not to mention, they take up like 20 spots in the top 100. So the 4s that you're gonna wanna target are the Pine Greens, the UNCs, both the Thunders, both of the militaries, any of the Unions, and any Black Cats. Everything else does sell well. It's just that these are the top places for 4s. It's honestly amazing how long these joints have stayed like one of the top selling shoes. And the ones that are high demand go for $500, $600, $700. Don't even get me started on the price of Black Cats. They're still outrageous. But like I said, one of the guys who were in the Discord server found some Black Cats for like $350, and those easily will sell for $600, $700. So do not sleep. But yeah, kind of short video for today. It's honestly very simple. I already did all of the stats for you guys, so you really don't have to do anything. If necessary, I will update this video as we get farther into the summer to update you guys on the best selling shoes. I think next time I'm gonna do like accessories and maybe clothes as well. Let me know in the comments though. Once again, if you're new, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, because like 99% of you guys are not subbed. We're almost at 3K, so I'm gonna try to hit that by the end of like next week. And yeah, I think that's all for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.